DealSource.tech is your #1 source for daily tech deals for all of US, UK, and Canada. All of the deals are handpicked and updated daily, so if you guys are interested in saving time and money, then just bookmark the website and feel free to check back whenever you want. There are always new deals getting added every day. I'll drop a link to the website down below. What's up guys, it's Ed from TechSource, and today we're going to be looking at the ROG Strix GTX 1080 Overclock Edition, starting at $679, so about $20 less than the Founders Edition. The card features a custom PCB, an 8+2 power phase, and a dope looking backplate with Aura RGB lighting, which can be controlled with the Aura software, but more on that later. The Strix 1080 is using ASUS's patented wing blade design that provides more air pressure, resulting in cooler temps. However, upon testing the card, I actually found that the temps were on the warmer side. Now do keep in mind that I'm using an open air test bed. The card would hover around 46 degrees during idle and shoot up to 76 degrees during full load. Additionally, the card comes with two 4-pin GPU controlled headers that can be connected to system fans for targeted cooling. The fans would also stop spinning once the card has cooled off, and here's a quick sound comparison between idle and full load. So the Strix 1080 comes out of the box with a 1936 MHz boost clock in overclocking mode and 1898 in gaming mode. In terms of power, you will need a 6 and 8-pin PCI connector to juice up this bad boy, and a 500 watt power supply, because even during full load, the whole system managed to peak at only 350 watts. However, I would recommend going with a 600 or 650 watt power supply to future-proof your build in case you do decide to add or upgrade parts later on. Now let's take a look at the design. First off, this is a very large GPU. It's both wider and longer than the Founders Edition, measuring almost 12 inches in length and 5.28 inches in width. This may be an issue in smaller form factor cases that include hard drive cages, so that's something to keep in mind. I am, however, happy to see a neutral black color scheme on the card, which will make it a great choice in any build. The backplate especially is something I really like on the GPU, with those subtle gray markings across the surface and ROG logo, which by the way lights up. As mentioned before, the card features RGB lighting, which can be controlled with the Aura software. Through here you can give the GPU a static color or choose from one of the few effects they have listed. Now, although I do like RGB lighting on GPUs since it helps keep the overall color scheme inside a PC consistent, I would have loved to see it perfected. Oftentimes, the brightness level is not consistent across the card. If you pay attention to the lights, you can see that the right side of the card is a lot brighter than the left. Obviously, this isn't a big deal since most of the time the card is facing down inside a case anyways. In the end, the backplate is what's visible most of the time, and having a logo that lights up is pretty badass. Another minor thing I noticed was the side of the GPU. Now first off, I want to say that I love the small ROG text that's not all up in your face like some of the other cards I reviewed on the channel. However, I would have loved to see more of the heatsink covered with the plastic cover. I'm not sure if ASUS did this on purpose to allow the heat to escape from the sides, but it's something worth noting. Again, I'm just nitpicking here based on my personal preference. I'm sure most people don't care about these minor things anyways. And finally, for the ports, we have two HDMI 2.0, two DisplayPort 1.4, and one dual-link DVI. But enough about that, let's take a look at how it performs in gaming. Now, since the Strix GTX 1080 comes in two modes, I'm going to run the benchmarks in overclock mode for the best performance. Alright, so pretty interesting numbers. The Strix 1080 did produce better results compared to the 1080 Founders Edition across most of the titles, but fell slightly behind the 1080 for the win. However, the difference was marginal and shouldn't be a deal breaker. When it came to overclocking, I managed to squeeze out an additional 75 MHz for a total boost clock of 2038 and an extra 500 MHz for a total of 11,000. Not bad. When it comes to gaming, I did see some healthy numbers. Some games got a nice FPS boost, while others not so much. To be honest, the difference was so marginal between the manual overclock and the actual overclock mode in the software that it's better to just go off by the overclock mode within the software, instead of wasting time messing with the settings, unless of course you are water cooling. So in conclusion, for $20 less than the Founders Edition, you get a better performing card and some pretty cool features like RGB lighting and a dope looking backplate. ASUS is also giving a 1-year free XSplit premium license valued at $100 with a purchase of the Strix GTX 1080 GPU. In the end, the performance difference between the Strix and the FTW are marginal, and it really comes down to personal preference, basically which card design and features you like best. But that will do it for my video. If you guys are interested in picking up the ROG Strix 1080 Overclock Edition, then I'll drop a link to it down below for you. But if you guys enjoyed the video and want to see coverage on the Strix 1070, then be sure to leave a like. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.